Welcome to the Sue Stevens Lighthouse Show. Today in the studio we have a local singer-songwriter, Joe Bayliss. We'll be chatting about his various life experiences and playing some of his favourite music, including some of his self-penned songs. But first of all, we'll kick off with Wonderful World by Louis Armstrong.
I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom for me and you. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. I see skies of blue, white, the bright blessed day, the dark sacred night. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. The colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, also on the faces of people going by. I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you. I hear babies cry, I watch them grow. They're like much more than I never knew. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Yes, I think to myself, what a wonderful
So, that was a Wonderful World by Louis Armstrong. Joe, what appeals to you about that song?
It takes me back to being a kid.
Does it?
Yeah. My mum always
when
had
you
radio.
were 21? Yeah.
My mum always had Radio 2 on. And she'd have Jim Reeves or someone like that on. But every time that come on, it really stuck with me. Even though by then I was into disco and prog rock and punk was coming out.
Yeah.
I loved that song from a really early age.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Yeah, it really stuck with me.
Do you know, I looked Louis Armstrong up this morning while I was typing up these notes for me. And apparently, from the age of 7, he lived with a Lithuanian Jewish family. I didn't know that. Because he wasn't very well looked after by his mum and dad. And he's fluent in Yiddish.
Really?
How about that? You learn a lot on this show, you know, when you're doing research. Anyway, Joe, you were born in Wolverhampton.
God, I thought you were going to say when then.
I'm not going to embarrass you and ask you when you were born.
I was, yes. Yes.
Yeah.
I was a long birth. I was at 11.5 apparently.
Oh, my God. My daughter was £5, 15 and a half ounces, and thank heaven for that.
Blimey.
So you were twice the weight.
But I was the fourth one, so it should have been easy by then, shouldn't it, really?
Only a bloke will say that.
I know.
Only a bloke. You know, I work with a chap, and he used to say it's like shod in pays.
Shod in pays.
Something like that, anyway.
I had a football injury, you know, I still got it for a prolapse disc in my neck.
Yeah.
And there was one period where it was pressing on the nerve and I was in agony, but I was on holiday with my kids. So I waited all week, got back to my chiropractor, and she was a Danish woman. And she said, if you know any women, tell them this is a worse pain than childbirth. And I've told many. I've got the scars to prove it.
Yeah. Slaps around your face, more like. Yeah. Yeah. So you know, growing up in Wolverhampton, then you had happy times there, I guess. Or not?
Well, I was born in Wolverhampton, but I grew up in Oakham, near Dudley.
Dudley.
Yeah, Dudley. You
And
know,
what-
all the years I lived there, I'd never heard anyone say Dudley, but everyone
they
says
don't.
Dudley now, don't they?
Well, they do on the telly, don't they, if they refer to it? Where do you come from? Dudley.
But they changed our address every 5 years. It was Grace Road, Oakham, near Dudley. Then we were Rowley Regis. Then we were Tiverdale, and kept
Yeah.
changing it.
I think I said to you earlier, didn't I, last week, that we lived in Quinton. We moved up to Quinton.
You was
from...
posh.
No, we weren't. We were Brummies. We still are, really. But we moved up to Quinton, away from Smethwick, and suddenly they changed. To me, Mum used to say, "This is posh up here. We're really posh now." And then they changed the boundary and they changed it to Albury. She did not like that
No.
one bit.
No.
No, but she still said we live in Quinton.
So you've just offended all the people listening from Albury now.
No, I haven't. Oh, Bill's from Albury.
Bill's from Albury.
You do your own bloody show.
No, that wasn't me. That was me mum, not me.
Okay.
It's me mum.
Funny.
Yeah, I don't know whether your mum used to do the same, but when the first time we ever had a phone was when we moved up to Quinton. We hadn't got a phone in the house, and she got a phone voice, which was a posh
yes.
voice,
Oh, yes.
and the voice that she used in the house. And when
Yeah.
she picked up the phone, she said,
Yeah.
"Oh, hello."
Mrs. Bouquet here.
And they pronounce the H's in the wrong place.
Yeah.
Oh, hello.
And we had a party line as well. If you had to pick the phone, you had to make sure the neighbours weren't on at the time. Do you remember
right.
that?
Oh yeah, because you could hear them talking.
Yeah,
couldn't
yeah.
you? Remember that?
Well, when we went on the Cape Mall and we'd all left, we bought our dad a phone.
Yeah.
And we'd be driving up to go and visit him, and he'd be in the phone box at the bottom of the road. And we'd go, "Dad, we brought you the phone." "Oh no, but I've come down here to phone your Uncle Ken."
My dad never answered the phone. If he did, it was either monosyllabic answer or he'd go, "Joyce, it's for you."
Yeah, yeah.
How Dad-
And did you get in your house something like the phone would ring? Who's that?
yeah, yeah.
Don't know.
Yeah.
Answer the phone.
Of course, Dad had 4 lads, and he worked in the steel industry, so they all shouted, did they?
Yeah,
So he'd
yeah.
just pick up the phone and go, "Gary, Neil, Paul," right, and you go, "Dad, slow down, it's me." It was hopeless.
There you go.
Right, there's half an hour of the show gone then
half
anyway.
an hour gone already. We've not even scratched the surface about Joe. So you went to Wolverhampton Polytech. Have I got that right?
I did. A uni now, of course.
Uni, yeah.
Weren't so posh then.
Would you have liked it to be called a uni when you were there?
No, it didn't bother me.
No.
No, I was very studious at school, but then unfortunately I never worked, so I sailed through my O levels, didn't do any work, and went into sixth form. And
Do you know there's
found
always
girls.
a kid in the class? And I bet you were that kid in the class.
I
that
found
didn't-
girls and pubs in my sixth form. That was my
Did ya?
downfall.
Oh, right.
And then didn't get the grades. I was going to go and be a maths teacher. Don't know why. And I decided
Are you good at maths then?
I was, yeah. My one son's
I'm
followed
rubbish.
me. But I decided I'd had enough of that, so I'd go and find a job. And I found what they called a sandwich course then, modern apprenticeship now, isn't it? And it was great. Got paid 6 months at work,
And
6
what was
months at
that?
Poly.
What were you doing?
Mechanical engineering.
Yeah.
I become a lighting designer actually at the end of the 3 years,
Yeah.
which is strange,
Who was
really.
that with, by the way?
That was in Tipton, then Groveland Road, Tipton.
Yeah,
it
but
was
who was it
Simplex.
with? Oh, Simplex.
It's all gone now.
Oh,
It's,
right, yeah.
It used to be part of TI for years. It was a big TI business. All gone. All
What's
gone.
TI stand for? So
Tube
can you-
Investments.
Tube, oh, right, okay.
Thought you'd be old enough to remember that. Tube Investments.
Cheek. I do the insults on this show. So, a lighting designer, what does a lighting designer do?
Literally, we used to get drawings, or we'd go somewhere to site and do our own drawings, and then we'd work out the lighting. You know, if it's commercial or industrial, then there's all sorts of regulations on what level of light you need, and trying to reduce glare to the occupants. But we did really interesting stuff. I did some cathedrals. I went down the singing caverns before the Black Country Museum opened it up to the public. We literally climbed down on ropes.
Where are the singing
And we put the
caverns?
first flickering candles in the singing cavern.
Where
Yeah.
is it? Where are they?
In the Black Country Museum.
Oh,
Yeah.
is that where the barge goes?
Yeah, when you go through into the big open area of the singing cavern.
Yeah,
we
I've
put,
sung
we
in
put
that
the first
singing
lights
cavern.
in there.
Way back in the
Really? 1860 something.
1700s. Get it right. No, 1970 something. I can't remember. In the days where we didn't have much health and safety.
Yes. Yeah.
And anyway.
Yeah, so that was it.
You
That
had
was
a
what I
bit
was
of a
trained
folk
to
club in
do
there.
a long, long time ago.
Yeah. And did you like that job or?
I did, yeah. But then, I got sucked into we talked about this, I got sucked into the corporate world, which I was good at, but I hated every minute of.
So what was your first corporate world job?
The big corporate world was Siemens. I ran a business for Siemens for the UK and the Middle East for about 8 years. And then I moved on to General Electric, the Americans. Looked after Europe and the Middle East for them.
Was GEC always American then? Or did
Well, there's two. There's the GEC, as we all know it, the Brits, was a so-called British company. I say so-called because the people who started that were actually German and they changed the name.
Oh. Was it German Electric Company then or something?
Well,
No.
it was a British company. It was a registered British company, but it was started by Germans. And it was interesting because Siemens, who were a big competitor at the time, I used to do a lot of presentations to customers on Siemens, and their first companies were actually British. The Siemens UK is older than Siemens Germany, because two Siemens brothers came over to the UK and started a business in the UK first.
Oh, right.
And they were laying, they laid the telegraph lines across to the US. They were building ships then and
Where
iron
are
smelting.
those laid from? Those.
Oh my God,
those
I can't
lines?
remember now. Can't remember. I think it was Cornwall somewhere. I've forgotten now.
Okay.
But then when the First World War came, the British government sequestrated the assets and kicked them out.
Did
Then
they?
after the First World War, they come back and started up again. And guess what the government did on the Second World War? Took it off them again. And they gave a lot of their assets to General Electric Company, the so-called British company,
So why did they take the assets off then?
because we were at war with the Germans.
And by this time it was German. Oh, right, I got it now. Yeah.
So although they gave
see.
the assets to what people saw as a British company, GEC,
Yeah.
that was actually started by two Germans. Yeah, fascinating.
It is
That's
fascinating when you
story.
go back. People don't realise, do
Yeah.
they? They certainly don't realise how underhanded the British government can be either.
Oh, aye.
Anyway, shall we have another song?
Yes.
Yeah. What we'll play next then is going to be Romeo and Juliet by Dire Straits.
A love-struck Romeo sing the streets a serenade, laying everybody low with a love song that he made. Find the streetlight, steps out of the shade, says something like, "You and me, babe, how about it?" Juliet says, "Hey, it's Romeo, you nearly give me a heart attack." He's underneath the window, she's singing, "Eli, my boyfriend's back." You shouldn't come around here singing up at people like that. Anyway, what you gonna do about it? Juliet, the dice was loaded from the start, and I bet, and you exploded into my heart, and I forget the movie song. When you're gonna realize it was just that the time was wrong, Juliet. Come up on different streets, they both were streets of shame, both dirty, both mean. Yes, and the dream was just the same. And I dreamed your dream for you, and now your dream is real. How can you look at me as if I was just another one of your deals? When you can fall for chains of silver, you can fall for chains of gold, you can fall for pretty strangers and the promises they hold. You promised me everything, you promised me thick and thin, yeah. Now you just say, "Oh, Romeo, yeah. You know, I used to have a scene with him." Juliet, when we made love, you used to cry. Said, "I love you like that the time was wrong, Juliet. I can't do the talk like the talk on the TV, and I can't do a love song like the way it's meant to be. I can't do everything, but I'll do anything for you. I can't do anything except be in love with you. And all I do is miss you, and the way we used to be. All I do is keep the beat, the bad company. And all I do is kiss you through the bars of a rhyme. Julie, I do the stars with you anytime. Now, Juliet, when we made love, you used to cry. I said, I love you like the stars above. I love you till I die. And there's a place for us, you know, the movie song. When you gonna realize it was just that the time was wrong, Juliet. Struck Romeo, he sang the streets of serenade, laying everybody low with a love song that he made. Find the convenient street light, steps out of the shade, he says something like, you and me, babe, how about it?
So there we have Romeo and Juliet by Dire Straits.
Brilliant record.
Yeah, why?
Oh, hard to say, really. I mean, when it came out, it was punks had just started coming in, and I'd grown up through disco, you know, everything, and I didn't really like the punk stuff. But then this guy come along, and they were in like a rock band, but he was playing that.
Yeah, very different, wasn't it?
Very different, and if you listen, his lines don't rhyme, and they don't sort of stop in the place you expect them to. Really unusual. Love the guy.
So have you taken some of your ideas from him, or
perhaps songwriting wise?
Yeah.
I wouldn't claim to get anywhere near on guitar.
Me neither. I think I've had a go at Romeo. You know, that intro that he does. But
yeah,
it's a bit difficult for me. That is. But anyway,
what I like about him, there's so many shredders around that you can't see the fingers move. But he's a genius. But he just does it sublimely.
Yeah. And yet I watched the show with him on, and he says there's loads of better guitarists out there than me. You know, he's quite.
But it's about feel, isn't it? That's
humble
the thing with
about
him.
it. Yeah, a lot of it is, and I think sometimes technicality, it's too much.
It's too much. Yeah. It is.
It overrules feeling.
Yeah.
I think we were talking about this the other day, weren't we? I mean, somebody invited me to go and see. I've forgotten his name now. Who did I say?
Oh, it was Tommy Emmanuel, wasn't it?
Tommy Emmanuel. I was watching him on TED the other day, and he's a really, really good guitarist, nice chap and everything with it. But his technique is brilliant.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that there is technical people out there, but he's technical without being technical, if you know what I mean. He's just brilliant.
Yeah.
Anyway, so let's just backtrack a little bit. You were one of 4 children.
I was.
You were. And did you tell me that you had a brother who was a little bit disabled.
Yeah, he was disabled at birth. My mum had had a home birth, and they hadn't spotted it, and he'd got oxygen starvation.
Oh.
So classed as a spastic, as they said then. Never say that, use those terms anymore. So yeah, he was the first one, and then 2 others came along a year later. And I always say my mum and dad sort of practiced first, and then had a gap and got it right with me. That's what I tell my brothers and sisters.
I'm just going to take this chip off his shoulder. So he was the first.
Yeah, and he was pretty much like me, really, other than the physical aspect. He was a real get-up-and-goer, and yeah, I can't tell you some of the stories because you'd get your show banned.
Just give us one example.
They anyone with a disability, if they're in a group of like-minded people, their humour is so dark.
Hang on a sec. So when you say he had a disability, what do you mean by that? He was obviously intelligent.
It's cerebral palsy, so it's
right.
physical. It's jerkiness and
his mental.
His mental state was fine.
Yeah.
Although I used to say to him it wasn't when we were arguing, because he was a Wolves fan and I'm a Baggies fan. But yeah, it was just physical disability. But he got a car and drove all over the blinking country. In the days of those noddy cars, remember the blue cars? They weren't supposed to take passengers, and I used to lie down in there, and he used to drive me to my football match.
I don't know what those cars.
Do you not remember them?
No.
You'd watch a football match on telly, and they'd all be parked up at one end.
Are they? What
they were
make
terrible
of car
things.
were they?
I don't think they were really. They were literally like a motorbike with a blue plastic shell on. You had a handlebar thing like that to turn it.
That means you've got to be a lot older than me then. No, I don't remember those.
But now, of course, everyone has proper normal cars that they get adapted now.
Bubble car?
Sort of similar. Sort of similar, yeah.
I've been in a bubble car.
But once, honestly, I'll try and give you the polite version. He moved to London when he got married, and then they moved to Milton Keynes, which is not a nice place, really. But one of the best features of it was built so that anyone with a disability could get anywhere in Milton Keynes. So you literally do not have to go on the road from a house to any shop into the city, Milton Keynes. That was a great thing if you had a disability. And he had a modified Peugeot car by then, But he used to drink beer and a lot through a straw. And if you've ever done that as a youngster, you get drunk really quick.
Why did you drink it through a straw?
Because otherwise the glass would have just been all over the place.
Oh, I see, yeah.
It's funny, but it shouldn't be really, because, drink driving laws and all that, quite a serious thing. But he drove up to this island, because there's many islands in Milton Keynes, and went straight over it, literally, and then stopped on the top of the grass. And there just happened to be a police car nearby. The police come over, and of course, he gets out the car and he's staggering, because that's how he walks normally.
Right.
And the police said straight away to him, "You're drunk, I'm going to breathalyse you." And he said, "Burp, burp, 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 beep, beep, beep. I'm a spastic." And they let him off, which is terrible. I mean, I shouldn't laugh, but that summed him up, really.
I think you're allowed to laugh.
That summed him up.
Really, isn't it?
Yeah, that summed him up.
Yeah. I got a little bit of a joke, if I can tell it. About just when you says he was shaking all over the place,
yeah.
It reminded me of something. These 2 old blokes in a pub, and they're having a conversation. What would you rather have, Alzheimer's or Parkinson's? And he thought about it. He said, Parkinson's. He says, why? He says, I'd rather spill a bit than forget where I put my beer. Sorry. Anyway. Yes.
There's Sue's dad joke for the week.
Yeah.
Cheek.
Christmas cracker.
I thought that was quite a good one. So, yeah. So after you studied mechanical engineers, you went and worked for a lighting company, and then you went to... Where did you go after that? Did you go to Market Drayton, you say?
Yeah, I was commercial manager for a company in Wrexham then. Sorry, any Welsh listeners, I didn't want to go and live in Wales.
What company was that then?
It's called Zircon Lighting. So I ended up in Loggerheads near Market Drayton. Yeah. And then to my surprise, I went in a pub and I thought, I can hear a lot of black country people, what's going on? And I didn't know Palethorpe's had moved their sausage factory to Market Drayton some years ago. And a load of black country people had gone with them. It was really odd. Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Small world, isn't it?
Yeah.
Black country people are everywhere, though, anyway, as are the Brummies.
You can't stop us.
No. Yeah. Shall we have another song?
Yay. What have we got?
What have we got
I should know,
next?
shouldn't I?
We've got Iris by the Goo Goo Dolls.
Oh, great song.
Goo Goo, I'm having trouble.
You've got to
Especially
tell
as
me
I'm
all
su-
about this
I'm
song because you
sucking
didn't
this-
know who it was, did you?
No, especially when I'm sucking this sweet. Goo Goo's quite hard to say. From a film called The City of Angels, I believe. Yeah.
Yep.
We'll have that next then.
And I'd give up forever to touch you, 'cause I know that you feel me somehow. You're the closest to heaven that I'll ever be, and I don't wanna go home right now. And all I could taste is this moment, and all I can breathe is your light. And sooner or later it's over, I just don't wanna miss you tonight. And I don't want the world to see me, 'cause I don't think that they'd understand. When everything's made to be broken, I just want you to know who I am. And you can't fight the tears that ain't coming, all the moment of truth in your lies. When everything feels like the movies, yeah, you bleed just to know you're alive. And I don't want the world to see me, 'cause I don't think they'd understand. When everything's made to be broken, I just want you to know who I am. And I don't want the world to see me, 'cause I don't think that they'd understand. When everything's made to be broken, I just want you to know who I am. And I don't want the world to see me, 'cause I don't think that they'd understand. When everything's made to be broken, I just want
that was Iris by the Goo Goo Dolls from the film City of Angels. I believe so named after Irish Dement. And Joe didn't know that, so I'm teaching. He's ever so intelligent, is Joe. I've just taught him something today that he didn't know.
You didn't know City of Angels out before?
No, I
did
didn't know, but...
Good film, really
yeah.
good film.
You've seen it, have you?
Yeah, several times.
And what's that song about, actually? Because I haven't listened to it, to be honest.
Oh, okay. It's a love song.
Oh,
Yeah.
You love songs, don't you?
Well, I do, but most of mine are like about angst and grief and unrequited.
Yeah, never mind.
Misery to tap your foot too, somebody once said.
Is that right? Anyway, we're going to have... What are we going to have? We're going to have Mother's Beauty, which is going to be a live performance from Joe. Here we go.
Staring at the rainbows, looking for that gold. The rapeseed fields are glowing. Maybe this is the tale that all wives behold. The rain clouds are moving westward. The birds come out to play. A panoply of music, surround sound, played the old-fashioned way. Then early evening approaches, starlings blacken the sky, like the black-cape movements of a Spanish bullfighter, swirling, twisting, moving to and by. So why chase supercars or wannabe superstars when the mother of nature's high is free? And why buy racks of shoes or this year's blacks or blues when mother's beauty you can see? When mother's beauty you can see. Holding your lover closely, moving with their time, soul to soul, magnetic attraction, electricity, from skin to skin, slow ride. Watch a newborn baby, open screwed up eyes, and grab your little finger for the first time in a lifetime, lifeline. So why chase supercars or wannabe superstars when the mother of nature's high is free? And why buy racks of shoes or this year's blacks or blues when mother's beauty you can see? When mother's beauty you can see. When mother's beauty you can see.
Hey, lovely.
I needed to cough then midway.
I know that feeling. I know that feeling. So that song, listening to it, is about, I assume, and correct me if I'm wrong, you've got all these things going on. You can buy this, you can buy that, you can have this, you can have that, but really it's about
just the simple
just
things.
the simple things in life, basically.
It is, yeah. It's exactly what it's about, yeah. I was twiddling away on my guitar one day and I'd got a bit of a melody going on, but I hadn't got words, which is normal for me. It's always music first. And my mum used to write a lot of poetry. It was always about Mother Nature.
Right.
And I was just looking out my window and the birds were moving around, and it was autumnal sort of time, and I thought, oh, it's got to be a mom song, this one. So that's where it came from.
Yeah.
But it is, you know, I really do believe it for such a long time. I probably didn't when I was younger, but certainly having kids changed my view on life, and it is, and particularly what we went through the last couple of years.
A lot of people are saying that.
Yeah. If you saw my post a few days ago, I posted that this year I'd made a point to say that as soon as we open up, I'm going to get out to all my friends that I just haven't seen for so long, because you're always too busy. And I've really done a lot of that the last few months. And honestly, I feel mentally and physically better for it. I really do.
Yeah.
I've reconnected with people I haven't seen for like 30 years. I played at the Gather CIC cafe on Saturday, and a cousin turned up. I haven't seen her for 40 years. It was great. Really great to catch up.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do need each other. People think that we don't, but we do. We need physical contact, and we need to talk.
Absolutely.
I can't do Zoom, can you?
No, I detest it. And back on the corporate thing, you know, even before COVID, it was constantly Skype meetings, team meetings. And they forget, you know, when you're in a room and you might be having a disagreement with someone, you can gauge how you're going along that by people's facial expression, the way they sit and move.
That's
you
right.
can't do that on a screen.
No, absolutely. And I find singing on a Zoom session, you may as well be singing to the TV. Yes, people may be moving around, but I need feedback.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Anyway, that was a brilliant song. Do you want to put your guitar down?
I will. Thank you very much.
Knocking it everywhere. So according to my little notes that I took, got it all down in my black book, you married your childhood sweetheart.
Oh, blimey. God,
How old were you then?
I didn't realise we talked about this. Well, I thought I was responsible and old. I mean, we met in the sixth form, so like 17, you know.
Really?
But we married at 23.
Yeah.
Thought we knew what we were doing.
You moved up to Markin-Drayton with her, did you?
Yeah, we lived in Quinton originally.
Oh,
when we
posh,
first got
posh.
married, yeah.
Yes,
And then
posh.
we moved to Markin-Drayton.
Yeah.
But sadly, it didn't last.
No, that's a shame.
Took
Never
the
mind.
cat and the ironing board.
Who did? You did, or she
did.
I didn't know you could iron with a cat. Well, there you
dear.
go. I've got visions now. For that. Was it a black cat?
No, it was two actually. They were Burmans, lovely little
She
cream.
took two cats.
Little cream things.
Were you upset about the cats going, or were you upset about the ironing board?
That's my type of humour, actually. You know. Yeah, but yeah, I was. You can imagine, like anybody, devastated, and honestly, about 2 years later, you start getting yourself together. I did honestly think, what were we doing? You think early 20s, you know what life's about. You haven't got a clue, have you?
I'm still wondering now.
Not a clue.
Trying to figure it out now.
Yeah.
You know.
There's a song, I'm not doing it today, but it's called Waiting for the Bride. I wrote this year. And I was with a female friend of mine and had a similar experience, and we were talking about it, saying you should have to pass a degree, you know, before you're allowed to get married. And she was saying she was sitting there thinking, what am I doing? And her mum was saying, it'll be fine, just get on with it. 3 years later, divorce, you know. You're so young, you don't know what you're doing.
You don't, and it.
But then some people have lasted 60 years, you know.
Well, they
Good luck
have,
to them.
yeah. They just wear earplugs and don't answer back.
That's the men.
Anyway, shall we go for another song?
Oh, yes.
We'll have to. Yeah, we're going to have You've Got a Friend by Carole King.
Great song.
When you're down and troubled and you need some love and care, and nothing is going right. Close your eyes and think of me, and soon I will be there. see you again. Winter, spring, summer, or fall, all you have to do is call, and I'll be there. You've got a friend.
You've Got a Friend by Carole King. I love that song.
Great song now.
Yeah, I just a memory when I was quite young, hadn't been at work long, and that was out in the chart by who's the other guy that sang it?
James Taylor.
James Taylor, and I was humming away, and I must have been humming for about 2 hours until my boss said, "For God's sake, Sue, sing something else." It's true. So anyway, why do you like that song?
Well, it was from the album Tapestry, wasn't it? And such a brilliant album. But by the time I was listening to it, it was late 80s. So it'd been out a long time by then. So I was back on my own again, young, free and single sort of thing.
Did you like being single, by the way?
Yeah,
because,
to a point.
Because how it seems to me is if you had your childhood sweetheart from when you were 16, 17, and then you got married. You'd never really been on your own.
No,
had you?
you're right. That's a serious point. Yeah, it was that period I realised, we hadn't really done anything as young adults, because we just got straight into being boyfriend, girlfriend, then married.
Yeah.
So yeah, I did have a few years of just thinking, yeah, this is life now. I'm sort of getting on with my life now. And
Did you like it though?
Yeah,
You
yeah.
did?
But by the time I got to 30, I was sort of more sorted in my head about what I liked and didn't like in life, and what I wanted to do. And the relevance of that song, I bought that album, and that just jumped out at me because there were a couple of good friends at that time who'd helped me through,
Yeah.
So it really stuck with me, that song. I do like James Taylor's version, but I think hers is the best one. It was her song originally, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. Yeah.
Yeah.
So after that, though, after your period of freedom, so to speak, you met somebody else, and
Yeah, got two lovely kids.
two lovely children.
Two lovely kids, yeah.
And how old was one when one had one's first
Oh,
child?
blimey, I was late. I was 40.
40.
40 when I had the first one, yeah.
And was that sort of, because I found it not hard, but the sleepless nights quite difficult to deal with. And I think when you're younger, you can sort of deal with it. But as I've got older, if somebody wakes me up in the middle of the night now, I'm like a bear with a sore head.
Yeah.
So
I'm
did you find
I'm
it
not good if I get
difficult or
woken
not?
up either.
Me neither.
No.
So how did you cope with that then?
Well, when we were about to have them, I thought, fantastic, this is great. This is what life's about. Now I've got them, I wish I'd have had them younger. Because without sounding too morbid, I feel like I'm not going to have enough time with them. I
Well, you
really
might
like
do.
being a dad, and I'd like to be around a long time. And as you say, you've got more energy in your 20s, haven't you?
Well, you have, yeah. I mean, I have my grandchildren, and I love them to bits, but they wear me out.
Yeah.
Especially Florence. She's got so much energy. Seb just sits on the sofa with his, I don't know what he's got, iPad, iPhone, whatever, and sits there. But Flo's just on the go all the time.
Well, as of last week, I've got two adults now, so
Yeah.
they're 18 and 19
yeah.
now.
Good Lord.
Where's that time gone? Blimey.
It'll be Grandad next.
Oh,
That's
well, I
the
hope
biggest
so.
shock of ever. Because,
Grandad Joe sort of works, though, doesn't it?
yeah, I suppose it does. But I wasn't ready to be a grandmother, I can tell you that. It's sort of, especially when my other partner used to say to Seb, call her Granny. Call her Granny. I used to whisper to him, call her Granny. And I said, don't call me Granny, call me Nan. It's true, though. So one's where? Is it one at university, is he? Or?
One's with me. He's just started, the modern apprenticeship thing, so he'll do a degree through work. Saves getting a big bank loan they'll never pay off, doesn't it? And the other one's doing his A-levels at the moment.
How's that work then?
Well,
Talk to me a bit
the government are trying to encourage it, so I'm not sure how much they're giving, but they're giving companies so much to encourage the scheme.
Right.
So the company's paying them, but the company's, I think, paying for all the uni fees, but then they get so much of the government towards it.
So they still go to university?
Yeah. So
Right.
just like I did all those years ago, there's no student loan involved at all.
Well, that's a good thing, though,
Yeah.
isn't it? Lumbering these kids
And it is
with
better,
money.
I can't tell him enough how much a better experience it was for me, because after 3 years, I'd done 3 6-month periods in a work environment. And, having been in Siemens and then in GE, the amount of time somebody new comes in, 21 from uni, and they're bright, but they know nothing.
I know. We used to get that. Sorry to say, I'm going to say where I used to work. I used to work at IBM, and they'd get the students come in, and they didn't know anything.
Yeah.
But they'd got huge chips on the shoulders. And I, as somebody with experience, would find that quite
Yeah.
irritating.
It's definitely better to get work experience and study at the same time. Definitely. But yeah, my young one's doing his A-levels. He wants to go to... He should be going to America next year to go work on one of these holiday camp things. He's qualified as a lifeguard while he's doing his A-levels. He's really into his sport, so...
What does he do?
What? A-levels?
Sports.
Oh, sports. He likes anything. Literally anything.
And what does he want to do when he leaves you?
Well, he wants to do sports science, and he's not sure after that, really. I don't know if he'll go sort of physio route, teaching route, I don't know yet.
Well, if he goes physio, perhaps you can demand a lot of money if he goes.
Well, I think he should go physio or a
himself.
chiropractor route, because by then he'll be quite handy for me. He'll save me a fortune.
Well, you've already got something wrong with your neck. You can fix that for you.
I've got loads.
Have you?
Bill's probably the same. Football, blimey, I got loads of injuries.
Yeah. We'll talk about your football career later, actually. It was a career, wasn't it, for a while?
Well, unpaid. Well, if you can call like £5 a match paid.
Shall we play another song then? We'll talk about that one after. This is going to be Bridge Over Troubled Water by Simon and Garfunkel.
When you're weary, feeling small, when tears are in your eyes, I will dry them all. I'm on your side. When you're down and out, when you're on the street, when evening falls so hard, I will comfort you. I'll take your part. Sail on, silver girl, sail on by. Your time has come to shine. All your dreams are on their way. See how they shine. If you need a friend,
that was Bridge Over Troubled Water by Simon and Garfunkel. A brilliant track, that.
It is, isn't it?
One of the best, I think.
Yeah.
So why do you like it then?
So my eldest brother, Steve, in those days, they didn't used to integrate him in schools. They used to put him in so-called special schools. So he'd disappear for months on end. And he was at Whittick over Wolverhampton Way, which is like I think it's a National Trust or something now, isn't it? But he used to be over there. But then I think it would have been about 16 he finished, so he sort of come home. And around that time, I can't remember now whether that was the reason or a birthday or whatever, but my mum and dad suddenly, we didn't have any money really, but suddenly we had one of these big radiograms, probably on Shopper Check or something, do you remember?
Shopper Check, I don't know what that is.
Don't you remember that?
I remember Green Shield stamps, and what was the other one?
You get a check. It's like a bloody loan shark, really. You get a checkbook and you go and used to get me bloody school things on it, my school uniform.
Prudential. Yeah.
And then the man had come round on a Friday collecting the money.
Yeah.
So you opened the big lid up, and then you got your record player and your radio in there, And the first day he had it, he'd got one album, and it was Bridge Over Troubled Water.
Really?
So whenever that comes on, or any of the tracks off that album, as soon as that finishes on the radio, I start singing the next one, because I've heard it that many times, But it takes me right back to being in the living room with the 70s orange wallpaper on the wall.
With the big flowers.
Yeah, but it's exactly that.
The big flowers, I
flowers,
remember. And the garish carpets as well.
Yeah.
We didn't have any carpet upstairs.
We didn't have fitty carpet then. We still had lino and
yeah, we did. I was just going to say, not upstairs. We had lino. And
It'll be like a Monty Python sketch, this will, in a minute. Frost on the windows.
I was just going to say that.
The ducks and that picture of that.
Yeah, we had them as well.
Woolworths.
My grandmother had those up on the wall in the lounge.
3 ducks and that picture of that Asian woman over the thing, and they'd all go, "It's lovely."
I want those 3 ducks. I do. But if you go on it to eBay, they're really, really expensive.
Really?
Honestly, yeah. You think, oh. Anyway, so have you ever tried to play any of the? I nearly said Gilbert O'Sullivan then. I don't know why. I don't know.
I have done a couple of times the Boxer.
Have you?
But honestly, I feel you can't do any Simon and Garfunkel song any justice. So I'd sooner steer clear and do my own.
Yeah.
They're just too good.
You can pick though. I mean, the Simon and Garfunkel, the Boxer, he's quite a good one to pick.
But they have such a vocal range. You've got to pick your song, haven't you? If you've got to pick one of
you've got
theirs.
to pick your song.
I'll tell you.
You could do 50 Ways to Leave Your Lover. That one.
What are you trying to say, Sue? Do you mean vocally or from experience? Are you talking there?
I wouldn't know. It's just an observation. Yeah, I'd like to learn that song actually. 50 Ways to Leave Your Lover. I probably wouldn't want to sing it now these days though, because I'm quite happy at the moment.
A great current band to listen to, is Milk Carton Kids.
Yeah,
they play different stuff, but to me they're like a Simon and Garfunkel.
Yeah. Anyway, we're almost at the end of the first half now, so off we go. See you later.
Black Country Extra.
Welcome back to the second half. We've got Joe Bayliss here in the studio with us, and he's going to do one of his own songs for us called How About You.
Cheers. Can you believe in love at first sight? When the darkest day becomes the whitest night, I know you'd run if I said too many things, suffocating when expectation sings. I only know the parts of you I want to rub off on me and turn me in to the better man I know I can be. follow you. Wherever you go, would I stay? Would you know? Could you breathe? If I ran too fast, or would you hide away from memories past? I only know the parts of you I want to rub off on me and turn me into the better man I know I can be. Can you see through the fog at night, alone in your bed, and I'm out of sight? When your deepest, darkest thoughts prevail, would you come to me to get you out of the jail? 'Cause I'm the cavalry, not the enemy. I've scouted for you all my life. Now I'm battered and bruised, but smiling somehow. How about you? How about you?
Well done.
Thank you.
So, exactly what's that about?
That's a relatively positive love song for me.
Is it?
I'm not kidding. But people who are close to me think, blimey, are you going to write a happy one ever?
Where's that line that says you're only interested in the bits of her that rub off on you?
Oh, yeah.
Quite an interesting line, that is. What do you mean by that?
I only know the parts of you. Yeah, that one.
It's quite deep, actually. That
Yeah. It's about trying to be a better man, basically.
Right.
You know, find the right woman, or in the case of the woman, find the right man.
Yeah.
And hopefully they'll bring something to you that makes you better. You know?
Ah, right, okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. So, have you got a process that you use to write songs?
So I've got one song in probably 100 where I wrote the lyrics first. Everyone for me, right from the very first song, like a month after starting to the guitar, have come from just playing around on the guitar, finding a melody I like. And the process with me is I find the sounds I like, and it just starts to sort of hum along. And then I'll just make up stupid words just to give me some words.
Yeah,
because that starts to get your syllables going, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And what happens with me, and I'd love to sit with some kind of medical expert who understands the brain and go, you know, there's some people who are genius mathematicians and they see numbers as colours. I wonder what goes on in your head, because I just know from certain chords of the way I play, it sort of defines where I'm going with the song. Is it going to be sad? Is it going to be happy? Is it...
Yeah.
And I can't explain that part. I find it really fascinating.
Yeah.
But that's sort of how it works for me.
I think that's true to a large extent. I've never really understood how, like Elton John, he gets Bernie Taupin's lyrics, and then he shoves a melody around it, and I've never understood how. Well, I suppose I've never tried it, so it's hard to understand something you've
My
never
own
tried.
little theory I've got. I know a duo, fabulous duo called the Hat Stand Band from over at Rugby. Yeah, really love them. Really love them. And I was over there a couple of months ago, and we had a jam all night, and we were chatting away. And they've got hundreds and hundreds of songs, but they go exactly the opposite way around. Kate writes the lyrics, Keith puts music to it straight away. But he's a genius of a musician. And my theory that night was, you know, where I started from, I've been playing guitar for 10 years. So in my head, I'm an okay guitarist, but I'm 10 years in, you know. Whereas lyrically, that comes really easy to me. So I sort of think in my head, my brain probably subconsciously is thinking, I can put lyrics to anything. I need the music first. And maybe he's the opposite. He knows he can put a tune to anything.
I think you're quite unusual in that, because you said earlier on that you were very good at maths. And generally I find the people that are really, really good at maths aren't very good with English. And
yes, that's true.
And that's true.
I
So
think
you
that
seem
as
to
well.
have both.
I think that, yeah. But I've always had this. Do you remember I was saying to you, I could bore you with the whole show on this, but although I was good academically at school, I didn't work at it. And then I just sort of waltzed into work and then got up in the corporate world. But I really detested it. And early 30s, I realised the careers guys should have been saying to me, OK, you're good at all these subjects, but what do you like doing? Because what I liked doing from about 8 years old, I was in the shed with my dad. And my dad was a real craftsman.
using your hands, yeah.
Yeah. And my dad taught me everything. And I've got a repair shop, like on the TV. And I've got a little business doing that. I do all sorts of furniture repairs and stuff. And that's the thing I love doing. I'm a creative person, so I didn't like the corporate world, which is just a sham, in my opinion.
It is. I agree.
So I loved all that creativeness. So, yes, although I was good at maths, I think the driving force in me was creativity. And I never expected it to be music. I thought I had a couple of years trying to paint for a living. I was starving. But I got into my trousers better.
When you say paint for a living, what do you mean? You mean
portraits and
right.
in pastel.
No, I thought you were going to move on to something else.
Painting and decorating.
Painting and decorating, because listeners, he's an excellent artist. I've seen
one
you have
seen
picture
one
in your house, and it's absolutely fantastic. So
thanks.
I'm not having that you know that you weren't any good. Not having that at all.
I thought that was my thing. It was going to be doing something, painting or building something, you know. So the guitar was a real shock, because my brothers and sisters had played all the time at home. My mum had a piano. She couldn't read a note because she could play anything. She could if she could hear it. But I never thought of myself playing an instrument ever. Just really, it's amazed me absolutely. It has, honestly. It's changed my life. I've said that to so many friends of mine. It's given me such a different view on life.
We'll explore that a little bit more later. We're going to play a Landslide now by Fleetwood Mac.
Took my love, took it down. I climbed a mountain and I turned around, and I saw my reflection in snow-covered hills, till the landslide brought me down. Oh, mirror in the sky, what is love? Can a child within my heart rise above? Can I sail through the changing ocean tides? Can I handle the seasons of my life? Well, I've been afraid of changing, 'cause I've built see my reflection in the snow-covered hills where the landslide brings down, and if you see my reflection in the snow-covered hills where the landslide brings down, oh, the landslide bring it down.
Ah, Landslide by Fleetwood Mac.
Wow.
My favourite, that is.
And mine.
The Dixie Chicks do it, but I love this
Yeah.
version, always have done.
Yeah.
Tried to play that as well. I must learn that one day. So
Yes.
why'd you like that then, Joe?
Well, she could sing to me anytime, basically.
She's about 92 now.
I know, but she could still sing to me anytime. No, I love all Fleetwood Mac stuff, but
Oh,
I
so
really
do
love
I.
that song.
So how long have you been listening to Fleetwood Mac? Forever? Because I mean...
Well, my brother's probably not listening, luckily, because he was a proper rocker follower, you know. So he loved Fleetwood Mac when it was the early Fleetwood Mac.
Yeah, I was never
Didn't
into
like
them
them
then.
once the girls joined.
Oh, didn't they?
No, so I was listening to Fleetwood Mac when it was Albatross, the original band.
Yeah.
And then I started listening to them as the new band, and he stopped then. Yeah.
Oh, did he?
So mid-70s probably for me.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah,
I loved them. I loved it. I love all their tracks.
yeah.
I think I've got most of their albums.
Fantastic
maybe missing
band,
one,
aren't they?
Maybe two. Can't remember. Yeah.
And a bit like ABBA, really, you know. A lot of their songs are about they're singing away, and their problems are about one another that they're
Yeah.
singing
Well,
about.
because each couple were
Yeah.
married, weren't they?
Yeah.
I mean, it must. When you think about it, you're on the road 24/7. Well, with each other 24/7, and it's got a great. You've got to get on each other's nerves
Got
from
to,
time
haven't
to
you?
time, and most of the time.
And then get up and play on the night
And
together.
then get up and play and smile on stage, even
Yeah.
though you've got all that going on in the background, and the fact that you hate each other by then. Yeah, but that's show business, I'm
It is.
afraid. You have to get up there and
Stay a
smile
solo
while you-
singer, it's easier.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I've been down that path, but at least said about that, the better, I think. Can't say stuff on the radio, can I? So, Joe, just coming back to discovering the guitar,
Oh,
and 10
yes.
years ago.
Yes,
now.
I told you,
And,
competitive dad syndrome.
Yeah, So I sort of still, I don't understand that, you know.
I have got a lot to thank the kids for in terms of my guitar.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you bought them each a guitar, didn't you?
Yeah, so I was, I'd separated from the mum by then, and we'd got them guitar lessons that had piano lessons, and we bought them these two rubbish little guitars, and they went for the first lesson. They were coming to me the weekend, so they came with a guitar all excited. Daddy, look what we can do. And he taught them F and G on the top E string. That was it. I think I paid for an hour for that. And I wasn't interested in the guitar. I just used to sing my brother and sister, but I remembered my sister showing me a C chord. So I just played this C chord, and my kids were going, Daddy, you can play. And quick as a flash in my head, I thought...
When you say, just go back on that a little bit, you played a C chord.
I just strummed a C chord.
So you got that out of a book, did you? Or...
I just remembered.
Oh, you remember?
Yeah.
From when? From,
I don't know, 12, something like that.
well,
And then I realised, because I'd taught them to play football, we'd gone to cricket, I'd taught them skiing. They're much better skiers than me now. As you do, you know, all the things you want to do with your kids. And it is this competitiveness in me, because I thought, I won't be able to do what they can do. And on the Monday, I went and bought a guitar.
and what was your first guitar?
A Tanglewood. It was all right.
They're
About
all right,
200 quid,
Tanglewood's,
Tanglewood.
Nothing wrong with them.
And I bought one book in my whole 10 years so far, but I only did the first chapter because I think it gets you straight on C's and F's and G's. And
Well, that surprises me, actually, because a lot of people seem to learn with the smaller shapes, the D's and the A's.
well,
these days.
I actually found
And you don't have to do
minors
the
easier.
big G, do you?
No. So I actually went, I looked at all the chords, and the first few I tried, I thought, these are hard. And I looked for the ones that were easy, and I found an A minor and an E minor, which I thought was really easy. And then I went on the internet and I tried to find songs that had A minor and E minor. And Paul Weller came up, and he had a period, he's reinvented himself a number of times, but he had a period where he seemed to have quite a few songs with A minor, E minor. I thought, well, they're pretty easy. I'll start with those. So within a couple of weeks, I really got into it.
I think there was some in that song you just played. Yeah, am I
yes,
right?
yeah. And so that fired me enthusiasm, and it just really got me going. And the kids stopped after about a month.
Did they? Well, because you were so good.
No, they just got bored.
Did they?
I didn't tell them for a while because I thought it just seems like a bit of a bad dad thing to be doing. But I wrote my first song, which is rubbish, and I'm not playing it to anyone, in about a month.
What was that called?
I'm
a Bad Dad.
You know, I can't remember. I've forgotten.
Yeah,
I've forgotten. But the real moment for me, it sounds a bit pretentious, this, don't mean it to, but it seriously was such a big moment in my life because I had hunted around for this creative thing I wanted to be me, you know, my working life. And although I'd written a couple of poems, like funny poems, and I knew my mum did a lot of poetry, I never thought of myself as a linguist, really. But that first song, it came so easily. I was just off then. I just started. And, you know, like everyone, you look back at your early songs and think, oh, my God, I'm not playing that again. But even my early ones, lyrically, are quite sound. It's just they were rubbish melodically or technique-wise, you know. But, yeah, when I look at them lyrically, they're still strong. So it really was. I've got my kids to thank for that because it was a great moment for me. And, you know, current company included, the other thing I say about getting into music is you work in something like the corporate world. It's just full of shallow, empty people.
That's right, yeah.
And you get into music and people are lovely. Well,
although, I you know, just...
It's that the common interest is a lovely interest.
Yeah. I don't think that people in the corporate world... I mean, they go home and they've got their families and
but all day you're just talking
think
rubbish.
like us.
Yeah.
And, you know, we're forced to talk rubbish, basically.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So I'm with you on that one. But I don't think they're all shallow people. They have to be the way they are to survive
to
in
survive.
that world, you know.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
But that's where, I suppose, my accusation of shallow, that's where it comes from, because I can't be like that. I can't... My face tells it all, you know. Yeah. So what you hear is what you get with me. I can't do a pretend face. It just doesn't work.
Yeah, I agree with you. I had difficulty with that as well.
Yeah.
And always felt that I should be doing something else. But when you're chasing the money, you haven't got a choice, have you?
No.
You've got to put your own interests aside sometimes to chase that money.
But yeah, the people I've met in music in the last 10 years, it's just been fabulous. Really has. Fabulous experience.
Well, they've just got one goal, really.
Yeah.
They just want to play music or, you know, do the arts, basically. Yeah. So, anyway, let's talk about... You bought a Taylor, didn't you?
I did, yes.
Expensive guitar man here. Is that the one you've got? You were playing?
The one I got now, yeah.
How long after you'd been playing then did you abandon your Tanglewood, or have you still got it?
Not very long, actually, which... Again, sounds a bit sort of presumptuous, doesn't it? But
not really.
I was, I think I told you, I started this open mic in Nosal, up in Staffordshire.
Right.
And I'd looked on the internet where was near to me, and I went along to this one. And I met two really good friends of mine now, Andy and Karen Appleby. And the two guys who ran it were ex-pros, and they're just lovely guys. A guy called Andy Wame, who was a dobro player, and Pete Merrick. Pete played guitar, bass. He played for Raymond Froggatt on bass. People might know him. Lovely, lovely people. And the good thing with them is I don't like people who say you were good when you know you were rubbish, because that's not helpful.
Yeah, but you've got to remember they may have thought you were good.
And so the good thing with both of those two, if you did something good, they'd come up and say, that was good. But if you weren't, they just wouldn't talk to you. So, you know, you got to... But I like that type of person, you know.
Yeah.
So they'd just give me little things. That was really good, you know. And Pete used to say, you're playing unusual chords for someone who hasn't played very long.
I thought that when I first met you. I first met you at Chris...
Oh, Chris Edwards.
Chris Edwards sing-around thing.
Yeah.
And I thought, those are unusual chords.
Yeah. And it wasn't because I was trying to play hard chords. It was because it's all about sound for me. I just, even now I do it, I don't know about you, I sit and I just hunt the fretboard for sound. And some of the Nick Drake stuff, that dissonant sounds he's got on the open chords, I love those. And Pete was saying to me, stick with those because that really suits you. You play quite softly and subtly. He said, but your guitar's not going to help you. You need a better guitar. He said, buy the best guitar you can find. He said, I don't mean the most expensive. Just pick different ones up and try them. Play what you're playing now and you'll hear one you like. And I was up in Sheffield working and I saw this shop, Richtown Guitars, and I went in and I just kept getting them down off the shelf and trying different ones. And then the one I got now is the one I ended up with.
Oh, it's got a special wood though, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's Koa.
Koa, and it only comes from
Hawaii. You see a lot of ukes, because ukes originated in Hawaii. A lot of ukes are in Koa.
So it's a good tone wood.
Well, yeah, because ironically, I'm not a massive fan of Taylors generally. So the spruce top Taylors are too bright and toppy for me. I like quite a mellow sound, and the Koa is very mellow.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It is. I noticed that. It's a nice guitar.
But I was smiling because normally anyone with a Martin, they all take the mick out of Taylor. But you've got a lovely guitar, not a Martin.
Yeah. No.
Allowed.
I like the Martins though. I'm not keen on Taylors myself either.
No.
Anyway, we're probably boring people to play.
No, I think so.
Pants off people
Is it
talking
right? Can I just ask,
about
is it
guitars.
right?
Go
On the
on.
Homer and Chain show, we discussed because of this eco-friendly world, they're finding it more and more difficult on the woods they're using on guitars. They're stopping using
Yeah.
a lot of wood.
Taylor went down the route of going into partnership and buying their own forests to make sure it was sustainable. So he's really into sustainability.
Yeah.
And he's not the only one. But they're using now some woods that have been found in the US that have been used for other things, like cupboards and stuff.
Tom was discussing it with that Rob, and I thought that was fascinating.
I know somebody who had a
using
guitar
certain
made
woods.
out of a piano.
Oh, right.
Yeah, piano wood, yeah.
Really?
That's I think that's probably what's going to happen, isn't it?
Yeah.
Use up old wood.
Yeah.
Fascinating.
Anyway, we digress. Shall we have another tune?
Yes. Oh, Isley Brothers.
Yes,
Nice.
please. Here we go with the Isley Brothers. For the Love of You.
Drifting on a memory. Ain't no place I'd rather be than with you. Yeah, loving you. Well, well, well. Day will make a way for night. All we'll need is candlelight and a song. Yeah, soft and long. Well, ooh, glad to be here alone with a lover unlike no other. Sad to see a new horizon slowly coming into view. Yeah, I wanna be living for the love of you. Oh, yes, I am. All that I'm giving is for the love of you. All right now. Ooh, lovely as a ray of sun that touches me when the morning comes, feels good to me. Yeah, my love and me. Well, smoother than a gentle breeze, flowing through my mind with ease, soft as can be. Well, when you're loving me, when you're loving me, love to be riding the waves of your love, enchanted with your touch. And it seems to me we could sail together in and out of mystery. living is for the love of you. Oh, yes, I am. Paradise I have within. Can't feel insecure again. You're the key. Well, in this I see. Oh, I see. Now and then I lose my way, using words to try to say what I feel. Yeah, love is real. Oh, love is real. Ooh. I might as well sign my name on a card which could say it better. Time will tell, 'cause it seems that I've done just about all that I can do. I know that I'm living for the love of you. Oh, yes, I am. I know that I'm living for the love of you. Every day I'm living for love of you. I'm living for the love each and every day. Oh, yes, I am. I want to say it one more time. Said I'm living for the love each and every day. Oh, Lord knows I am. Write that down. Said that I'm living for the love of you.
Well, that was For the Love of You by the Isley Brothers. And I can see Joey's melting
Oh,
here.
Just
To-
gorgeous,
to
that
that
song,
track.
isn't it? Just gorgeous.
Just earlier you said you got your own workshop
Mm.
and that you were fixing things and
Yeah.
mainly wooden things, I assume. I don't know.
I like wooden things, but I do jewellery, all
Oh,
sorts
do you?
of things, yeah. Done plaster repairs, gravestone repairs, all sorts of stuff, yeah.
What would you do for a gravestone? What do you mean?
Where they've used gold leaf and it comes off over time, frost
you
damage.
fill that in,
Yeah,
do you?
yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it's one of those really satisfying things. You know, like at some point in your life, you've all had some satisfied thing, like peeling a label off something. You know, people have these little things. Putting gold leaf on is really satisfying.
And how did you learn to do that then? Have you ever done that before? Or did you
Yeah, a couple of times. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people say, how do you know how to do so many things? But it's a lot simpler than it sounds. I've got a lot of skill sets from when I was younger with my dad. My dad taught me so many different things. And if you've got those skill sets, you can apply them to most things. You know, a repair's a repair. So if you're good at getting things square and flat, that will work for fixing a chair leg as it will to putting up a shelf on the wall. You know, it's the same technique. So it's just having lots of skills and applying
So would
them.
you go down to the grave to do that?
Well, we lifted it. We got permission and lifted it.
Did you?
Yeah, yeah. Because it's quite a lengthy process.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's interesting, that is. Have you ever thought about making your own guitar then?
I have actually.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I have been thinking about it, yeah. I don't know
I've
whether I
thought
will
about
yet,
it
but
too.
Yeah.
Now, there's a course you can go on. You probably don't need to go on a course, but
There's a great one down in Totnes.
there was one in
Devon.
Wales.
Oh, is there?
Llanidloes, somewhere like that. But you have to stay away for a fortnight.
Yeah, the one in Totnes is about 12 weeks. You have to go there for 12 weeks. It's really long. It's quite expensive as well. But I do fancy making one. Yeah. I've actually got, but I don't think it's the best tone wood really. But I've got quite a lot of oak at home out of my dad's piano. And of course, the sentimentality there, my dad's piano, my mum played it, blah, blah, blah. But oak isn't a particularly good tone wood. You could probably use it for parts, but probably not for the
Right, what about the neck?
soundboard.
Could you use it for the neck?
Yeah, possibly could.
Yeah.
But it'd be a bit dead for the top.
Ah,
But yeah, I do fancy it.
I can see it now. Joe Bayliss guitars.
Yeah. Yeah, the
Joe
business has
Bayliss luthier.
got too old now. It takes too long to get known. I
It
like
wouldn't.
playing him too much anyway, rather than building them.
Well, it depends what they sounded like. I bet you say
Yeah,
too old to get known. I don't think so.
yeah.
I don't think
probably
you're
right.
old yet, Joe.
I was 60 last week, so
And
I'm
Is it
gutted.
Bab?
Gutted.
Is it Bab?
I'm gutted. I'd said to my friends, I'm not having a party, don't want anything. I'm going down the pub with my two boys, pop down for a drink, and of course, they all turned up. There's no balloons, no cakes. Massive balloon, cake, oh. And then after I got over that, they said, you taking the balloons home? No, you can have them.
Yeah, yeah.
The next night was the Brood Acoustic Folk Club. I went down, there were the balloons.
yeah, that's nice.
No, I
I
hate
don't tell
them.
anybody about
Shut
anything. I don't tell anybody about my birthday or anything. I warn my daughter not to. Yeah.
Why is that?
It's just a birthday. It's a day, isn't it? It's just a day.
Just the birthday. Shall I
So
tell you?
next year when I'm 70, if anybody,
You're
I'll
70
just
next
walk
year?
out. Yeah, I'll just walk out of the place. Honestly, I would.
Yeah.
Just walk out the place.
Oh.
Roof knows that. Don't you dare do that. Just walk out.
I'll tell you about Brian. It was my 60th birthday some years back, and he loaded. He put balloons, these big balloons, in the back of his car. It was an estate. Covered them up, and they got what do you call it? Helium.
Oh, helium, yeah.
So he pulled them down, weighted them down, and he covered them up. And we went to the folk club, and I needn't know they were in the back of the car. So I got out the car, got the guitar out, and went to the club. And then he came with all these balloons. I thought, where's he had them from? He'd had them out the car. I couldn't believe it that I'd sat in the car, we'd driven there, and didn't even know they were in the back.
Well, you know, I was joking last week because I've been trying for about 3 years, I suppose, writing to folk clubs, trying to get in, you know, as a guest, and it's really hard, you know. And when you've come to it quite late in life, people don't know you, and so it's been quite hard.
It's hard anyway, Joe.
It is
Whether
hard.
you've come to it late in life or
I
not.
know. But I've got I'm booked January the 12th for the Red Lion, King's Heath, which is great one to be in. I've got the Birch and Stock in Kidderminster in Feb and the Shirley Folk Club in March. And I was joking last week. I said, it's because I'm 60 now. I'm old enough to play, you know.
I wouldn't like that. And did you get in touch with Brimfield?
I haven't done yet, no, but I will.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Okay. Right, where are we? Shall we? We'll have another tune. We'll have Dusty Springfield, and then if you want to do another live performance.
Good.
Okay, so here we go with The Look of Love by Dusty Springfield.
The look of love is in your eyes. The look your heart can't disguise. The look of love is saying so much more than just words could ever say. And what my heart has heard, well, it takes my breath away. I can hardly wait to hold you, feel my arms around you. How long I have waited just to love you. Now that I have found you, you've got the look
Dusty Springfield takes me back, that does. Right, we're going to have another live performance from Joe now, and he's going to play Hummingbird.
Lying in my bed and my thoughts turn to you on a cold dark night. It's all I can do. Gotta find a way of getting back to you. Thinking of the softness and the smell of your sweet skin, the curves and the hollows when nights would begin. We'd lose ourselves in the flickering candlelight. Fascinated by the blur of your soft wings. Even when sleeping, the earth still sings from the resonance and their warm ways. Ooh, my hummingbird. My hummingbird. You said it was the bestest that you'd ever known. No hang-ups or pressure, just freedom to roam. But you can't cage a bird from a paradise world. No, you can't cage a bird from a paradise world. 'Cause if you love one thing for its freedom of expression, its wildness, its kindness, to love that exception, then the thing that you love will love more than you. Then the thing that you love will love more than you. Ooh, my hummingbird. Ooh, my hummingbird. Ooh, my hummingbird. Don't fly away. 'Cause the thing that you love will love more than you. 'Cause the thing that you love will love more than you. Don't fly away. Don't fly away. Don't fly.
Lovely. Thanks, Joe. That was quite a sexy song, I thought.
What I'm hoping with that in years to come, that'll be some survey and they'll say 2 out of 3 people make love to that song. And the third one was watching.
How did you come to write that then?
Oh, blimey, so you do ask some questions, you do.
Sorry.
Should be on BBC doing a parky, I think.
You think?
Yeah, so...
you never know.
As you get older, you talk about more things, don't you? And got a few female friends and talked about stuff, and there does seem a bit of a common theme about whether it still goes on now. I guess it does, certainly back then, of they end up with someone they think's a nice bloke, and actually they're quite a control freak, and they like the person that they were, and then as soon as they got him, they want to put him in a cage.
That's absolutely true. It's happened to me.
Well, there you go.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what that's about, really. If you love them, you've got to let them be free.
Yeah.
That's the song.
Love is not yours to own.
No, no, exactly.
If people are going to do something, they're going to do it anyway, whether you wrap them up and put them in a cage or not.
Yeah. And if you love the thing...
And probably do it more if you're trying to lock them away.
If you love the thing that they are, then if you put it in a mini cage, they're not the thing that you loved in the first place.
No.
So neither you gain.
That's absolutely right. Absolutely right. I'm feeling a bit depressed now.
I told you my stuff was misery to tap your finger to, foot to.
Okay, I think we'll have another tune then. We'll have Tired of Being Alone by Al Green.
I'm so tired of being alone. I'm so tired of on my own. Won't you help me, girl, just as soon as you can? People say that I found a way to make you say that you love me. Hey, baby, you didn't go for that. It's a natural fact that I wanna come back. Show me where it's at, baby. I'm so tired of being alone. I'm so tired of being alone. Won't you help me, girl, soon as you can? I guess you know that I love you so, even though you don't want me no more. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I'm crying tears all through the years. I tell you like it is, honey, love me if you will. Hey, baby, I'm tired of being alone here by myself now. I tell you, I'm tired, baby. I'm tired of being all wrapped up late at night in my dreams. Nobody but you, baby. Sometime I wonder if you love me like you say you do. You see, baby, I've been thinking about it, yeah. And I've been wanting to get next to you, baby. You see, sometimes I fool moms, I say, oh, baby, needing you has proven to me to be my greatest dream. Yeah. I'm so tired, baby. So tired. You don't know what I'm talking about. Sometimes in the night I get to wondering about you, baby.
That was Tired of Being Alone by Al Green.
The Reverend.
The Reverend. Is he still with us?
Oh, good question.
I think he is, actually.
Is he?
I think so. Anyway, I don't know. So that one, I've got a note here, that was post your divorce, wasn't it? Have I got that right?
Yes.
You don't need to shut up if you
28, 29, I think, yeah,
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, for me, best male soul singer.
Yeah, he's pretty good, isn't
Brilliant.
he? Too good. Anyway, let's move on a little bit and talk about the Live Lounge, which is your little baby at the moment.
Yes.
How did you start that? Why did you start it?
Long story, very short. I started because, I try and play at acoustic clubs and folk clubs because that's the best place for me. Pubs isn't really my cup of tea for my sort of stuff. But I really picked up really quickly the lack of young people in there. There's just so few young people going to watch or listen. And
folk clubs, yeah.
Folk clubs and acoustic, and there's all sorts of reasons why. And also combined with trying to get in to play as a guest at them as well, find out how hard that was. I thought I want to create something, and a couple of friends would say, start your own folk club. I really didn't want to do that. But I fancied doing something where I could try and mix the two, so get people in that everybody likes and knows to get them in, because that'll get them through the door. But use them really to sort of launch other people that I know were good, because I travel around a lot. I like to go and listen to different people. And there are loads of really good acts around, young people, really good young people. Some couldn't play a folk club or acoustic club, but some can. But they wouldn't go for their own reasons, or they wouldn't get booked, for other reasons. So my idea with Live Lounge, because I played on a similar sort of thing once, was to have 3 or 4 people on stage together, sitting on stools. I'll be the host. And, you know, we're all old enough to remember like, who used to do it? Des O'Connor and people like that. You have the Des show. They'd have some famous act on at the end and he'd sit and chat and then play around. I thought that's what we should do. So my idea is get somebody on each month that all the locals know and will come through the door to watch, and then get somebody else that I know is good, but they don't know about him or them.
I have to say, when I did it was very enjoyable.
We had a fabulous night, didn't we?
It was great.
I mean, and it's about the broad range of music and talent for me as well. So there was you, there was Tim Martin. I don't know if Tim's been on here.
Oh.
Yeah,
Tim's
yeah,
great.
Yeah.
And then we had Trevor Babajack Steger, who's
He's
like
fantastic. He was.
blues. He's like C6 Steve on acid, and he's like,
Yeah. Got a lot of gear with him. It's
Tons of
actually
gear.
convinced me to buy some gear.
has he?
Yeah, I've ordered some.
But the big thing for me was I really like going to folk club because the stuff I'm writing because it's got a message. So I do want people to listen. But at the same time, I don't want it to be a sterile atmosphere. So as you know, with Live Lounge, I really encourage, as we were, that artists chatting and joking between them, chatting to the audience, getting some feedback. That's really what I'm after. I want people to feel like they've come out and had a good night, listened to good music, but had a smile on the face and gone home laughing, you know.
Well, certainly, I think you're achieving that.
Yeah. So far, so good. I'm just worried with COVID. We had a great one this Tuesday, but the numbers were really down agawn.
People are
Such a
scared, aren't
shame.
they? It almost seems a deliberate thing from the government to me
Well,
to shut us down all the
yeah.
time. But
Don't
anyway,
get
that's
me on
another
that one.
subject. I want to know, in the Live Lounge,
Yes.
you know that sign at the back that you put up?
The Love Lounge.
Yeah, the Love Lounge. It's supposed to say Live Lounge, but it looks as if it says Love Lounge. How did you make that?
God, I mean, you go online now. You can buy LEDs taken over the lighting
I'm going
world.
to write this down.
You go on Amazon or something like that, and you can buy these kits, and you just get like a strip of rope. It looks like rope, but it's
Yeah.
actually an LED in a flexible plastic, and it comes with another piece of wire. So you form the wire into the words you want, and then with some cable ties, you just attach the LED to the wire, and then you
Right.
create your words. Really easy.
It looked very sort of New
It was
Yorkish.
honestly, it was like 10 quid. It was nothing.
Was it?
Yeah.
I'm going to get one of them.
Can you get that for the lighthouse?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
That's a long word to spell, though,
Yeah,
without a
yeah.
mistake.
for one of my gigs, I want one, you know, on a stick. You put it on. Oh, has it got batteries then?
Yeah,
Something like that.
yeah.
So it's got batteries.
But where the L goes to the I, but it looks a bit like, it's a bit tricky, so it looks a bit like an O. So somebody said it looked like the Love Lounge. But that got me thinking. I thought every week I could do a Fawlty Towers thing and just change the word every week.
Not only that, it was lit up in red as well. So it could
Yeah.
be Love Lounge, couldn't it?
It's like we were in Amsterdam.
Yeah. I wouldn't know anything about. Have you been to Amsterdam?
Yes.
Oh right,
A few
okay.
times.
We won't talk about Amsterdam.
I was working.
Were you? Oh, good lad. We're almost at the end of our time now. I quickly wanted to talk to you about Iceland.
Oh, yes.
Not the country Iceland.
The supermarket.
but where do you get your pasties from? No, but you had
The recording.
you were hopefully going to Iceland at some point to do some recording because
Yeah.
somebody'd spotted you or you'd written to them. I can't remember which.
It was,
now.
I came across the Icelandic government were doing grants to get recording artists over there because they'd done it with the film industry.
Yeah.
So I looked into it, went over there 2018, went to a couple of studios, and one of the studios I went to turned out to be an Oscar winner called Marketa Glover. And I'd seen her in a fabulous film I'd recommend anybody who's into music watch. It's called Once. Brilliant film about an Irish busker who meets this girl. She's a brilliant pianist, brilliant singer. And when I went over there, I've followed him ever since, this studio was her studio. And she'd worked on Damien Rice's last album, and I'm a massive Damien Rice fan, so it was meant to be. My guitars were already on the way to Iceland, and with hours to spare, they cancelled the flight because of COVID.
Good Lord.
So I didn't go.
And how long after that did you manage to get your guitars back? 'Cause
Took
I'd
a
be
week.
Really,
Took a
really
week.
worried about that.
Yeah, I was really scared. Took a week. So hoping to go back next summer.
Are you?
Yeah.
So that you're in touch with
But
them
it could be a
constantly,
triple
are you?
album by then. 'Cause I've written about 15 more songs since then.
Oh, brilliant. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Are they all on CD? Do you publish them yourself?
I'm on
or-
Spotify and Amazon and iTunes, all of those things.
Okay.
Giving me pennies, literally.
No, it's hopeless. Isn't it? Anyway, what we're going to do now is we're going to finish the show and we're going to play out with Damien Rice, Colour Me.
Well, I tried to repress it, then I carried its crown. I reached out to undress it, and love let me down. Love let me down. So I tried to erase it, but the ink bled right through. Almost drove myself crazy, and these words led to you. And all these useless dreams of living alone, like a dogless bone. So come let me love you. Come let me love you, and then color me in. Well, I tried to control it and cover it up. I reached out to console it, it was never enough. Never enough. So I tried to forget it. It was all part of the show. Told myself I'd regret it, but what do I know about all these useless dreams of living alone? Like a dogless bone. So come let me love you. Come let me love you, and then color me in. Come let me love you. Come let me take this through the end of all these useless dreams of living. All these useless dreams. All these useless dreams of living. All these, oh no, come let me love you. Come let me love you. Come let me love you. Come let me,
Thank you.